Electricity. What is it? How does it work? What are volts, amps, AC, DC, prong plugs, etc.? This video will answer those and many more questions. What is electricity? Electricity originates in the smallest of subatomic particles, the electron. Most of our viewers already know what an electron is, but for those who don't, we'll give a brief explanation. Electrons are subatomic particles, that is, they, along with protons and neutrons, which are other subatomic particles, make up an atom. An atom is the smallest part of an element that retains the properties of the element. The following table shows a comparative study of the properties of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Proton. Protons are positively charged and they are a part of the nucleus. Neutron. Neutrons are neutrally charged and they are also a part of the nucleus. Electron. Electrons are negatively charged. They orbit around the nucleus in parts called orbital shells or electron shells. The outermost shell of an electron is called the valence shell. The electrons in the valence shell are called valence electrons. One important thing about the atom is that in an atom the number of protons is the same as the number of electrons. Thus, the atom is electrically neutral. If the number of electrons is not equal to the number of protons, the atom is called an ion. The given diagrams show examples of some atoms. First from the left is an iron atom, second a carbon atom, and third a hydrogen atom. Now that you have understood about the atom, you might be wondering how it is important in the production of electricity. The given diagram shows the passage of electricity through a metal wire. In the diagram, valence electrons of the atoms are attracted toward other atoms. This movement of electrons from one atom to another is what creates electricity. When an atom loses or gains electrons, ions are formed. An ion may be negative or positive. If the electrons in an ion are more than the protons, the ion is said to be negative. If the number of protons is more than the electrons, then the ion is said to be positive. Electrons are attracted toward positive ions. Another thing to note is that not all electrons can move so easily toward other atoms. Some electrons are so attracted to their own nucleus that they do not move toward other atoms. Such atoms are called insulators. The electrons that have high electron mobility belong to atoms of conductors. The given table has some examples of conductors and insulators. As you already know, conductors allow electricity to pass through them while insulators don't. Examples of conductors include silver, gold, copper, steel, seawater. Examples of insulator include rubber, glass, oil, diamond, dry wood. Electrical circuit. An electrical circuit is a path in which electrons from a voltage or current source flow. The point where those electrons enter an electrical circuit is called the source of electrons. We will do more about electrical circuit in part 2 of this series. So, what is electricity? Electricity is basically the passage of electrons from one atom to another. How does electricity work? When electrons of conductor atoms move from one atom to another, electricity is generated.